Hi, today we're going to discuss our topic of the importance of the psychological contract and the impact of SHRM. We're going to emphasize on interns, graduates, managers and partners. A contract is a non-written understanding of expectations between an employer and an employee.
Of the psychological contract is going to be pretty similar in a lot of ways as to other employees, except you have to think about the fact that an intern is generally going to be temporary, and so that really does affect the attitudes and the impressions on the intern a little bit differently, which again really affects the satisfaction, the commitment, and the behavior that the intern is going to see. There's a bunch of research on that. One of the things in my past internships was it was a nationalized program, but institutionalized in its management style. And so you had to think about having behaviors that were structured and specified, but having an unstructured role. And one of the ways that they did this was through a summer leadership institute they do every year, by bringing interns across the country together to learn about each other and all the progress, while still keeping it fairly consistent and not terribly structured.
With regards to managers, they already have a pre-existing psychological contract with the company and create a new psychological contract with the new employees entering the firm. It is important that managers fulfill the psychological contract with employees as they act as a link between employees and partners. It is very important that it fulfills the psychological contract as it leads to higher profits, productivity, high quality of work, and creates high-performing teams. Ultimately, please shareholders and increase profits of the company and get a higher result of the manager.
The concept is important to graduate employees as it begins its initial formation in the beginning of an employment relationship. Elements that affect the psychological contract consist of, first, pre-expectations. These include expectations employees have prior to entering the organisation. They also include assumptions employees have about the forthcoming position. These pre-existing beliefs are shaped by individual personality. Second, selection process. This process is very important as this is when the psychological contract initially begins. The recruitment stage is essential to understand the graduate's pre-existing beliefs. It is important to get accurate and practical job descriptions as to avoid confusion. This stage influences the contract and can help graduates adapt their beliefs. Third, the career concept. This relates to the notion of career, the beliefs, personal goals and ambitions graduates have about their future career. These beliefs will shape expectations about their employment. The type of contract developed by graduates takes form as they undergo training, obtain support, learn and adjust to the culture of the organisation. The importance of this development will be fundamental in their future as an employee.
Partner psychological contract. It's twofold, one with the employees and one with the other partners. Firstly, what I'm going to talk about is the time that the employer has to give up to actually train the employee. This is to train new employees to become partners. This employee needs to be willing to give his time as well. The next is the transparent lines of communication between the employee and the partner. This makes the employee feel more a part of the business and allows the partner to then tell them what they need to be done. Okay, and finally, the partner needs to implement a safe and fun corporate culture for the employees. Finally, the next thing is partners. Partner for psychological contracts. So that partners have an equal say no matter what's going on there. It's only judged on how much their equity they hold. And then the last thing is the independence. That each partner is allowed to manage their own division with their own corporate culture and their own style. SHRM has on these practices, we're going to go through three. High involvement, high commitment, high performance. We're going to start with high involvement. This one means that everyone has a say and is part of the business. It means less turnover, okay? A big example of this is EY. EY psychological contracts that people work in groups. So they have an employee group, manager group, partner group, who all meet together and at the end of the year they all have a say in how the business is run. The next part is high performance. This psychological contract makes them have a need to fulfill the need for high quality work, produce great work as well. Okay? And a great example of this is Intel. This psychology program is bi-weekly meetings with their staff to ensure everyone's on the same level. The last thing is high commitment. This is where you make sure they have a feeling of loyalty, that they want to be a part of this company and want to support this brand. This is an open and valued psychological contract. The last thing we're going to say is that a psychological contract is the employee's promises and what the employer then promises to provide them. As you can see, there's a lot of things that is done, and if all of this is taken into account, companies can make endless profit and have less turnover, and they can succeed anywhere in the world. I'd like to thank you guys for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the show.